We'll be facing off once again against Minnesota. We lost the previous matchup against them, and Minga dropped 58 points in that previous game. Also, Yakuba Uatara had about 21 points. In our previous game, Hardaway had 31 points, I believe. But we still ended up losing against Northwestern. This time we're trying to avoid an upset against Minnesota. The last game was the opposite, as we were facing the top team in the league compared to one of the worst teams in the league. So the hope here is that we can pull off a win against them. Immediately off the start, we lose the tip. I forget how it was to play them, as already we're down 3 points. I find Young in the corner, but instead I decide to drive in and draw the foul on Ming. I hit both free throws, and it's a 1-point game. The roster's not that good, but they work pretty decent as a team from what I remember, I think at least. Hardaway's able to get the steal, and I find Shepard on the other end. Morris would have the ball and get the screen from McRoberts. McRoberts has the mismatch, but he gives it back to Morris. Morris gives it to Enabgabogo, who's forced to take a bad shot and misses. McRoberts ends up stealing the ball, and I can test Nash's shot off the steal, but he still hit the shot. I give it to Hardaway, and he draws the foul on Ike Enabgabogo, or whatever his name is. Hardaway is able to tie up the game, and it'll be 5-5 2 minutes into this game. Ming is open for 3, but he decides to try and give it into Enabgabogo. It's not an assist, but it was big mismatches. Young was forced to guard him off the switch. I call for the screen and try and give it to Shepard inside, but stolen by Nash. Ming is able to drive in on the other end to get the 2 points. Morris is called for a foul, and I immediately get fouled after it had just gotten inbounded. Once again, they'd be called for a foul, and this time it'd send me to the line, as now we're in the bonus. All my points are from the free throw line. They just keep trying to reach in off the inbound. McRoberts takes the mid-range shot and once again banks it. I try to give in to Shepard, but the pass is stolen. They find O'Brien, who gets the shot inside. I give it to Hardaway, who misses the shot but gets his own rebound. He's able to put it in to make it a 4-point game. We're still down though, and Morris tries to make it a 7-point game, but the 3 would miss, and my pass to Shepard gets tipped. It'd still be our ball, but it had gone all the way back to the backcourt. We are 8th in the power rankings, and as expected, Northwestern's on the top. Make sure to get the ball up quickly, but it gets stolen once again. They give it to Ming, who gets the screen from McRoberts. He takes the mid-range shot, but the shot missed. And on the other end, I try to get a layup, but it's blocked. I take the 3, and finally we're able to get something, bringing it down to a 1-point game. Morris gets the screen from McRoberts, and doesn't really do too much with the giving it right back to Morris. O'Brien fakes setting the screen, and it actually worked as Morris was able to get the layup. I try to pass it into Hardaway, but another turnover. McRoberts sets another screen, and Morris gives it into McRoberts, knowing that there's a mismatch. McRoberts easily gets the shot to go, and he already has 7 points on the game, shooting perfect already. I'm able to get inside to bring it to a 3-point game. And considering how our bench is not even that good, there's a good chance we can lose this game. Shepard gets a steal, and I almost lose the ball, but he recovers it for me. I find Young, who's inside just waiting for the pass. Minnesota calls a timeout as it's a 1-point game. McRoberts is off to a pretty good start, and I just keep turning the ball over. I'll be subbed out, and we have a 5-point lead when I get subbed back in the second quarter. I find Grantham, but he gets blocked. I take the mid-range shot, but it's pretty well contested. I'll be guarding Jameel Wilson. Yakuba Uwatara takes the mid-range shot, fading away, but another miss. I try to give it up to Shepard, but it's stolen, but Shepard gets it back. The ball gets stolen once again, and Ming's on the fast break, and he gets the easy slam. We're able to find Poland inside, but Uwatara is able to contest it in time. It's the first time Poland's faced another guy with the number 0-0. Because typically no one has the 00. But Poland found another person who Where's 00 and Yukuba Uatara? A player who's pretty good at three-point shooting. I try to get a steal, but instead it's a reach and foul. I'll be guarding Mick Roberts as I'm at... I don't know if I'm at what I'm at exactly. I believe I'm at small forward, but it confused me because Mick Roberts is a power forward. And they're to contest the shot, but it's unsuccessful as Minnesota takes the lead. I find Hardaway, who gets the basket inside. I go for the steal, but another failed attempt. Ming goes behind the back and then goes into a layup. I find Pullen on the other end to get an easy slam. Ming immediately gives it to Anagbogo as Pullen gets the steal, and I find Hardaway, who draws the foul on Ike. I'm going to call him Ike for the rest of the game. Draws the foul on Ike, and that's his third foul. I'm third in blocks in the last, actually second in blocks in the last 30 days, as someone on Wisconsin, Jamel Artis, has the most blocks and has the highest average in blocks per game in the last 30 days. That does include scrimmages, so I'm able to get the block on O'Brien, and Shepard recovers the ball. On the other end, I draw the foul on Ming, and that's his third. I go to the line for one, and I'd hit it, giving us a 7-point lead. Now we're starting to pull ahead. I'd be guarding O'Brien, so they have a pretty big group out. Shepard's called for his first foul, trying to reach in. Morris gets the ball off the pass from O'Brien. Ike sets the screen and gets the mismatch on Young, but he lost his dribble. Hardaway's called for a reach-in foul, and it's probably better because now we can guard who we're used to guarding instead of having a center guarding a guard. Ming gets the screen from McRoberts, and now he's guarded by McCree. Ming takes the layup but gets blocked, and by the time he could put up the shot, it was the shot clock at 0. It was actually Wallace, not McCree, who had contested and blocked the shot. Young lobs it up to Hardaway, and Hardaway slams it down. Minnesota decides to call a timeout once again. Morris would bring the ball up, and we have a 9-point lead. I thought when the bench would come in that we'd be down, but actually we were up by 5 when we came in. Then we blew that lead and then made it even bigger of a lead with a 9-point lead. I help contest Ming's shot, and Shepard gets the board. Try to pass into Young, but it gets intercepted. Shepard's able to save the ball, and that's big for us. I find Shepard inside to get the easy layup. Shepard's been coming big with getting the rebounds and even saving the ball from going out of bounds. I know O'Brien can't shoot the three, so I just wait in the paint because he's probably not going to shoot the three. McRoberts is forced to take a shot that he has to fade away for. I find Shepard, who gives it to Young. I get the screen and give it to him. Once again, he's able to get the shot, and now we're going on a little bit of a run. Minnesota calls once again a timeout. They're left with 4 because they've used quite a lot of them. They give it to McRoberts off the inbound, and he hits the 2-point shot. He's 5 for 6 with 11 points already. I give it to Hardaway. He gives it to Shepard. I give it to Hardaway, and he slams it down on McRoberts. My pass was a little bit off, and Ming almost stole it, but he just barely missed it. McRoberts gets the ball off the pick and fade. I don't care if O'Brien's out on the 3-point line, so I try to help on defense, and Shepard once again plays some good defense blocking the shot. I get subbed out for the rest of the half, and we'll be up 51-42. I really don't know who's been top performer for us. I don't really know how people have been doing for us, but for them, it's been McRoberts who's been having a good game. Also, Ming has 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. I have 12 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. And I've had a lot of turnovers during this game already, so I'm going to try and cut down on them, but a lot of them are off the pass, and all of my free throws were because of reaching fouls, I believe. Maybe one shooting foul. Oh yeah, and one was one of them. And then a bunch of reaching fouls. I call for the screen from Hardaway and give it to him as Ike was waiting in the paint thinking that I was going to cut off the screen. I end up leaving Nash open, forgetting that it's not O'Brien who I'm guarding, who doesn't shoot the 3, but it's LeBron Nash who can shoot the 3. I decide to take it myself, but I get blocked. Shepard is there for the rebound, and he gets the and 1. Hardaway and Shepard celebrate together, but he misses the free throw. I poke the ball loose, but Nash is able to recover. Morris takes the mid-range shot, but Hardaway gets the rebound. I give it to Shepard on the other end, and it's a 10-point game. I have to remember that Nash is a pretty good 3-point shooter. McRoberts gets the ball, but he just gave it to Morris, who had bobbled the ball a little bit. And once again, Shepard plays some good defense and causes another shot clock violation. Our next game, whether scrimmages or actual games, are against Maryland and Wisconsin. I find Shepard off the pick and roll once again. They end up wasting quite a bit of time just getting the ball and inbounding it. McRoberts sets the screen for Ike, and Hardaway gets the steal. I find Shepard on the other end, who was just waiting after running up the court. He has 14 points and hasn't missed a shot yet. Morris has the ball and gives it to Ming. Ming gives it to Ike in the post, but he decides to step back and fake the shot. Morris gets the screen from Nash, but it didn't really work too well. Nash is forced to take a terrible shot and misses it. I gave it to Hardaway inside, and the only person in the paint other than him was Ming, who's a pretty small guard, at least I think. Minnesota calls another timeout, and we've really pulled ahead in this one. Minnesota's now down to three timeouts. And over the last 10 games, Ming is second in field goal percentage, just below Nigel Walker for Penn State. Ming almost turns it over, but recovers and hits the shot. I find Hardaway, who cuts in. He draws the foul on Ming, and that's his fourth of the game. Ming would stay in the game, and Hardaway would hit both free throws. Ming gives it to Ike, and Hardaway is able to poke the ball loose, forcing a turnover. For the last 3 days, he's been averaging a good amount of defensive stats. I find Shepard, who has an open paint, and gets the layup. We've been on a pretty good run over the last few minutes. As Minnesota doesn't really have the best team. We're able to get the steal, and Wallace gets the slam on the other end. Ming would bring up the ball once again for Minnesota. He drives and pops the mid-range shot. He has 16 points in the game and isn't shooting the best, 6 of 13. I tried to give it to Hardaway inside, but the pass once again stolen. Nash misses the shot, and Hardaway's there for the board. I try to pass it to Shepard, and it fails. It ends up being off of Nash, staying our ball. Yakuba Uatara comes in to the game. I call for the screen from Hardaway, and he takes the mid-range. He actually hits it, making it a 20-point game. So we've definitely pulled away. Ming draws the foul on Wallace as he tried to reach in. Ike immediately gives it to Uatara, who gets the layup. Once again, my pass was stolen, and I tried to reach in, but they call it a foul. We end up getting the steal, and I find Poland, who's in the corner. Unfortunately, he missed the 3-point shot. I try to get the steal, and it's my third foul. Yakuba Uwatara gets the ball, and Ball Boy tries to set a screen, and he ends up turning the ball over. It'd be our ball, and I'd get subbed out for 3 minutes. Immediately off the inbound, I try to drive inside, but once again, it's a miss. Uwatara on the other end draws the foul, but it actually wasn't Uwatara, it was actually Wilson. Uwatara actually wasn't even in the game, so I was completely wrong. Poland bring up the ball, and we have a pretty small group. I call for the ball and get the screen from Hardaway. He has an open paint, and he could just dunk the ball easily. I like drawing the attention off the screens and then just dishing it off to an open Hardaway or Shepard. I'm able to get back to contest Morris's 3-point shot. I end up losing the ball, but it ends up being a jump ball between me and Mick Roberts. The battle of the Joshes. I'm able to win the tip, and I dish it to Hardaway, who drives by and slams it down. Morris would bring up the ball, and he hasn't had a good stretch lately. He gives it to Ming, who takes the shot before the quarter ends and drains it for the buzzer beater. I couldn't believe he hit the shot, actually, so hopefully that doesn't spark anything for Minnesota. The assist of the game was Young's lob earlier in the game to Lonnie Hardaway. I end up leaving Mick Roberts open, and he slams it down. I find Hardaway, who is forced to pass it out after a pretty bad pass. Young lobs it up to Hardaway, but this time it's failed as the pass wasn't the greatest, and Hardaway was unable to pull it down. Nash has ended up getting left open, but it's only a mid-range shot. I try to pass it to Poland in the corner, but it's stolen. Mick Roberts knocks it down on the other end. I call for the pass from Hardaway as the double team had come. My pass once again is stolen, and their double teams have been working. Nash misses the shot, but Ike gets the second chance shot and misses. I give it to Poland, who would get the mid-range to go. Ming gets the screen from McRoberts. and he takes the open shot, but it doesn't go down. I take the shot trying to draw a foul or something, but I got nothing. Ming would get the ball and get the screen from Nash. I would be called for the defensive 3-second violation, and Ming would go to the line. He'd hit the free throw, and they'd still have possession of the ball. They ended up lobbing it up to Nash, and he slammed it down, making it a 15-point game. Once again, the ball gets stolen from me, and on the other end, Nash drives in, but he misses. Try to give it to Shepard, but the pass gets blocked. It ends up landing in Shepard's hands, and he takes the shot. I sets the screen pretty much, but not really, because Ming kind of ignored it. We get the steal, and Young's on the other end. He's able to draw a foul, and he's sent to the free throw line. He hits the first one, but missed the second. Morris is able to get a layup inside to go. I find Young, who's left open off the double team because of the... I can't speak English, but got open off the double team, but missed the shot. I noticed Hardaway was open, but my pass gets stolen once again. I'm there to contest Nash's shot, but it doesn't affect it as he still drains it. This time my pass to Hardaway is successful, and he once again gets the shot inside. McRoberts hits the shot once again, and he has 17 points on the game. I give it to Shepard, who posts up on McRoberts and fakes it once, which fooled Ike, who's trying to double team. Ming immediately drives in, drawing the foul on Young. The one thing that was pretty good that I like about Ming is his haircut. How he has the lightning bolts on the side. I find Young, who was left wide open off the double team. I think that I could use this to my advantage as they keep double teaming me. McRoberts sizes up Shepard and gives it to Ming. He gets the screen from Nash, and both of us forget who's guarding who on the switch. It's now down to a 12-point lead, but there is only 5 minutes left. We call a timeout, and Shepard is the player of the game as he's been having a good performance. I know he's putting up quite a bit of points, but he probably has some rebounds, a lot of rebounds as well. I said maybe we can use my double team to our advantage, but another turnover is a little bit of miscommunication between me and Young. Ming takes the shot, but it's pretty well contested. I'm able to get a foul on McRoberts. I give it to Shepard, who finds Young in the corner, but it would have been 2 points even if he hit the shot. I tried to help with Ming, but my contest wasn't really what had done it, but I ended up turning it over, and Nash gets the open mid-range. Now it's a 10-point game, and I try to give it to Wallace, but it's stolen once again. We're both there for the contest, but he still hits the mid-range. I give it to Wallace immediately as I'm trying to avoid having the ball, but he insists that I have it. I give it to Wallace, but he misses the shot. I try to reach in, and it's my 4th foul of the game. I try to get out of the paint, but they call it just before I can get out of it. And Ming once again will take a free throw. Once again, I got called for the defensive 3-second violation, which I was only in there for 2, which was what I thought, but they call it once again. Hardaway is able to get a big block on Ike. And I give it to Shepard on the other end, but it's pretty well contested, causing him to miss it. They give it to Ming in the corner, who gets the screen from Nash. Ming was able to fake me pretty good, and now it's only a 4-point game. I thought he was going in, but he had used the behind the back to go towards the right and then take the shot. I give it to Wallace, but he just gives it right back to me. Hardaway finds Wallace, who scores the basket inside, making it a 6-point game. This time I try to make sure that I don't stay in the paint for too long. Nash misses the 3-point shot, and Wallace drives in on the other end and misses. He gives it to McRoberts, who gives it to Morris. I thought I was going to pass to Ike, and they set like 3 or 4 screens on me. Nash takes the mid-range shot, but Shepard gets the rebound. Once again, it'd be a jump ball, as I've not been on a good run. This time I lose the tip, and it's a big one, as now we're 1 minute left in the game. Ike takes the mid-range and misses. I find Young on the other end, and he extends the lead. Now we have an 8-point lead, and The hope is that we can win this game. Ming gets the screen from Ike and takes a pretty bad mid-range shot. I give it to Young, who takes the 3, and it's another miss. I make sure to get out of the paint so I don't get called for a 3-second violation. They end up hitting the 3 and they start fouling. I try to stay away from Nash as long as I can, and I'm able to waste as much time as I could I tried to waste as much time as I possibly could. I hit both, giving us a 7-point lead. I get subbed out for the rest of the game, and we would end up winning 98-93. I don't really know who had a good game or not, but Ming had 30 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 steals, so he really tried to help their team win. Also, Mick Roberts had a good game. Nash had a good game as well, 17 points, and then nothing really else from anyone else. Yakubu Uwatara couldn't get anything going. And for us, Hardaway had 26 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. And Shepard had a good game with 18 points, 11 rebounds. Poland actually had a good game off the bench, 15 points. I had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 19 assists, but a career high 16 turnovers. So normal, nothing else. McCree did get 2 points in this game. So we did not lose and give an upset to Minnesota.